Los Angeles, California. Beloved children whose home is in the light, we reach forth our loving arms to hold you in our embrace of light, in your conscious endeavor to free yourselves from human creation and limitation. Well, do I know what that means, and what happiness is in store for you as in your great firm determination you continue to call for the great loving, powerful activity of your mighty I Am presence to flood your mind, body, and world. And do for you that which your presence alone is able to accomplish. Then in every effort that you make, you find in that achievement a permanently attained and established activity, for you do not have to keep repeating it, because once accomplished, it stands there serving you. You who are having this knowledge of the presence, your mighty I Am, are fortunate above all children of earth. You become a great golden sun as well, for you have an all-powerful scepter of dominion within your grasp to use. Any one of you. 184. Children from 4, 5, or 6 years can and will begin to use that scepter with definite precision. This means the gaining of a momentum and achievement which is dauntless before all mankind. We, all of us who have reached the ascended state, beloved ones, have gone identically the same way. There is but one road to the eternal perfection and freedom for mankind. It is this identical knowledge of the presence which Saint Germain has brought forth. There is no other road in all the universe. Every one of us had to follow these same steps which he has brought to you, so simplified. In our time the attainment was far more complicated than the application you have today in the outer experience. Yet in that great simplicity, those great ones from Venus assisted in bringing it forth. May I remind you who are here tonight of the statement of the great master from Venus, when the arrangement was made for these books to go forth. He said emphatically that these books must go forth in a simple language which the layman could understand, free from all technical terms, and the great wisdom of his decree has in thousands of ways been made manifest already. Even the children are able to apply this law, quite as well as the grown people, and with quite as firm, definite results. That proves the ascended master's wisdom which brought forth the I Am instruction in this simplicity. It is free. 186. From all old terminology which has been so confusing to mankind in the various things that have come forth before, because each in itself has had different terminology. Observe the people of India and Persia where we gained our victory, of the Orient, of the various parts of the world. Never, anywhere, has this great knowledge come forth so simplified and so purified as Saint Germain has given it to you. Any human being on the face of the earth who will earnestly with determination apply these laws according to the direction he has given, and put out of the mind all previous concepts, will have such magnificent results as no one on the earth could imagine, until he tries it out. Tonight it is my great joy while I am talking to you, and that is our reason for coming forth in the groups, to pour forth our radiance and closeness. It is just as though we took each one of you individually in our arms in the physical form and held you close, that you might know how real we are. One day you will know there is nothing intangible about us. You mothers and fathers. I am a mother of 3 children. The Master Chara, who dictated to you recently, is my son, and there are 2 other children who are not known in the outer world, as he is. The 3 children did not make their ascension until after I did, but all of our family did make the ascension. As soon as I had made mine, I was able to render assistance to them, and their willing obedience enabled them to quickly win the ascension after my achievement. Therefore, dear ones, when we speak to you in this manner, you cannot help but feel our reality and the truth of which we speak, because it is the truth, and your heart knows the truth in spite of your intellect. This is the thing, precious ones, that every earnest, I Am, student will come to understand so very vividly. It is why this good messenger has said to the class so many times, anyone without a spark of faith, who will with earnest sincerity begin to call the mighty I Am presence into action, will have all the proof in the world he wants, which will give him faith if he does not have it already. This is a most astounding statement to make, but it is true. The world has tried to live on faith without understanding. Its supply appears sometimes and sometimes it does not. This is what has distressed mankind so greatly because in prayer, as the orthodox world has known of it, sometimes the feeling was intensely poured forth in the prayer, which released the power of the presence to fulfill it, but not always. There have been a great many prayers that have not been answered. Now in your knowledge and call to the mighty I Am. 188 Ascend. Presence, which is the greatest power in the universe, you cannot fail to have an answer. Stand by your presence, which is your life, and know this ascended master understanding, beloved ones. It does not require faith. You have the understanding which knows where the powerhouse is, the intelligence, and knows positively that you are really a part of it. It being anchored within you, within your heart, then you know you have its authority there. Not even your intellect can interfere with your earnest call, if you will make the call. If you will hold fast to this, you will find there will never be a single failure in your entire experience through your call to the presence. You must know by this time that your heart is a part of your mighty I Am presence, anchored within, acting within your human form, which knows all the perfection there is. You have your higher mental body, which is your selective, discriminating intelligence. It is only too delighted to release from the presence everything you require. It knows exactly what you require for any given purpose. When we came to know that, and after we had made earnest application, we began to find that we were actually speaking to the presence, and often audibly. We found we could receive its instruction direct. We found that a certain intimation would be given. Then we would release certain currents of energy. And they would do certain things in our forms. Then we found that by a great flood of light from the presence, we could sweep out of our minds and bodies every discordant thing. Always in the beginning of the awakening of the people to this, is the use of the violet consuming flame given to them, through which, if they be determined and sincere, they can purify and consume all their previous human accumulation. If used earnestly and sincerely with determination for a short time, it does not take years to enable you to be free. Beloved ones, if you are earnest enough, you will use this violet consuming flame to dissolve and consume every bit of discordant creation, which has been drawn about you throughout the centuries. That is the magnificent mercy of the presence to mankind today. No matter how great the mistakes have been, by the constant use of the violet consuming flame you can dissolve and consume every discordant thing, which you have drawn into your world through the centuries. Beloved ones, this is what we are trying so earnestly to convey into your feeling world. It does not require long periods of time to do this. If you will do it earnestly, you will feel the results in yourself, a lightness in your human forms, and a freedom which will prove your accomplishment to you in the use of the violet consuming flame. Now, beloved ones, this is the first fundamental. 190. Activity. As you use the violet consuming flame, it causes the presence to set it into action and keeps it sustained when your mind is on something else. The violet consuming flame acts. You do have to set aside a few moments several times a day while you are accepting its activity. Call the presence to sustain its activity and keep it going on all the time, until every particle of your discordant accumulation of the centuries is dissolved and consumed. In this way, dear hearts, you can so quickly free yourselves. I plead with you, precious ones, call your mighty I Am presence into action to do this with great power and speed that you may be free. Dear ones, you can accomplish anything that your hearts desire for your freedom in this acknowledgement of the presence. Do not let anything cause you to feel otherwise. Now remember, precious ones, you must stand guard over your world. With the use of the violet consuming flame and the tube of light, which you have learned to draw forth into action, you make yourselves invincible to the further discord of the outer world. Thus, as the violet consuming flame consumes all that has been drawn into your world, you stand free. Then when you call your mighty I Am presence into action, its power can release with perhaps 20, 30, or 40 times more speed than it does before you use the violet consuming flame enough to dissolve the human accumulation which has been drawn about you. You do not know in the outer what is there, and it is not necessary to know. Fortunately for you, you do not, but when you call the presence into action to consume your human accumulation, it is done completely. Then you will never have to look upon it. We have called to the Divine Director and those directly in charge of that activity, to impel you so earnestly and powerfully to do this so you will never have to look upon any single part of your human, discordant creation. If you once knew the mercy which the use of the violet consuming flame is to mankind, you would sing praises forever. In those earlier centuries, the students never attained without looking upon some of their own human creation, and it was a most unhappy thing. We had to do it. Having discovered the way to avoid it, do you wonder we plead with mankind to believe us and prove us, that they may avoid many difficult things which we had to go through in our attainment and achievement? In the beginning of our freedom, the great paramount idea was to maintain life in the body over long periods of time. I had maintained youth and perfection in my body for more than 500 years before I made the ascension. My son Chara 192 ascended, had maintained youth and perfection in his body for more than 300 years before his ascension. In those earlier centuries, the great paramount idea was to be able to do that. Today among mankind, in one great sweeping activity in the acknowledgement of the presence, the individual goes forth into his eternal freedom, victory, and ascension with a speed almost inconceivable, compared to the time the beloved Lady Master Nada made her ascension. Oh, dear, precious ones, we want so earnestly to convey to you the privilege which you have today, transcendent beyond anything that has ever been known in the world. We have worked for hundreds of years, waiting for the time when this could be brought forth to mankind, that the great mass of mankind could understand it. Oh, I am sure you all appreciate how magnificent and wonderful it is. That there is a single one of mankind today who is not yet ready to accept this great magnificent simplicity and freedom, which is brought forth to them, seems incredible. In the patience of waiting hundreds of years for this point, a few months or few years ought to be easy to wait for the rest of mankind to suddenly awaken to their mighty I Am presence, and have its freedom and blessing which this brings. Now, dear ones, will you not be more and more in earnest and determined every day? I think of that day so long ago, as you think of time, when my children were like these. It was quickly, even in that time, under our instruction and direction that they were able to set themselves free. It is true, in the outer world at that time they perhaps did not have as much charged into the atmosphere about them as the children do today, because we were in a far less densely populated part of the country. Dear ones, in a day not far distant, mankind will learn to live again in homes, not in buildings where hundreds of people live in one building. Where one or two individuals live in a building which is charged with discord, those persons necessarily have a battle to hold their own atmosphere free from that charge of discordant limitation about them. However, this is the truth: if one chose to make the effort, you may take a 20-apartment building and one family in it could begin filling the building with absolute harmony and happiness. They could hold it there, just for the joy of calling the presence into action, to prove for themselves that they could do it. Even people without understanding would respond to the feeling with which the building would be charged. This is why, precious ones, we ask you, and the messengers have asked you almost from the beginning, not to let one morning pass that you do not. 194. Raise your hands to the presence, and, just like you reached into the great substance of light from the ascended Master's octave of life, charge the walls of the room with this pure substance of the mighty I Am presence. Charge it to be sustained and continually pour forth that purifying, harmonious radiance to everyone who enters. Beloved ones, if you would only do that. These precious ones have been doing that in the school, until the radiance is wonderful and beautiful. We love to give assistance by amplifying every sincere effort of that kind. Therefore, you can make the atmosphere wonderful through just charging, so everyone who enters and touches it feels the harmony and freedom all about him, where discord was just a few moments before. You know it is so easy to forget discord, if you only will, but it is not so easy if you do not want to. You have free will, precious ones, do not forget it. You are the decreer for your world, your business, and your activity. What you decree for yourself, your business, your home, must come forth if you do not allow it to be interrupted by discord in your own feelings. It is a law, the great law of life, precious ones. Oh, once the students of the I Am begin to realize and understand that whatever they fix their attention on which is constructive, will be successful, will bring in supply of all required for their happiness and comfort, will give them abundance of all they wish to give in service to the light. I want you to feel tonight, oh, our great closeness, the great reality of the Ascended Masters, the Legion of Light, and the great cosmic beings, who are now sweeping the great cosmic light into the earth. Feel how close and how real it is. You have become a part of it. Do not let anything cause you to feel longer that you are not a part of this great cosmic light, which is filling the earth. Besides your call to your own presence, glorify the assistance of this great cosmic light. Why? I do not recall that you have had this particular point explained to you, but tonight let us take it up definitely. Why, besides your call to the mighty I Am presence, are you receiving a definite and powerful assistance from the great cosmic light which is flooding the earth? Because your own light within your heart is a magnet for the drawing of this great cosmic light to you at your point in the universe. Then do you not see how again it is the great beneficent law that is assisting you without limit? Surely, you must understand and comprehend how great is your ability in that respect. I repeat again and again and again to you, never in the history of the world has such an opportunity been offered mankind. You are receiving, 19 HASCESI, precious ones, BROUGHT to you in the COMFORT of your own HOMES, so to speak HATKNOWLEDGE which who MAN beings a few centuries ago TRAWLE, DOIR the heart IHUNDREDS of miles on foot to REACH. Do you really precious ones? How BEFOREANDAFTER Jesus Ministry MANKINDMADE pilgrimages COEware. To try to mac CONTACT with those who knew the whore. Yet in those very days THERE was only AFRAGMENT of this whore give. Into the OUTER world, which UHAW today as a Cree lift of hoy. I want you TONIGHT, Illinois I may why help you, to rear fully the marvelous blessing that is at vore door, which I has ENTERED into your world for you are no LONGC subject to any limitations THROUG, any mistakes why you have MADE. Heal that for AMOMENT deeple you are not subject longer to any limitations, no matter what your mistakes HARBEEN. If you will earnestly call on the whore of IOIGIENUS. Call the use o the violet CONSUMINGBLAME into action, call T.HU presence, to place about you the TUBE of light, the UHA E fulfilled the REQUIREMENTS. You have full. Draw yourself up, straighten your spine, and say with great calm serenity, stop this nonsense. Mighty I Am presence, you are in command here. Silence every human thing. Take command and direct me by your mighty intelligence. See that I do not make a single mistake. See that my human gives obedience in every way. Then, you set the great law into action, precious ones, the law of the universe in action, your law of life, to produce what you require, and it cannot fail. This is why, beloved children, I want you to know that you too can produce the same wonderful activity in your life which we have. Before 5 years are over your heads you can have your life so filled with harmony and happiness that everyone who touches you will love you. Everywhere you move, all will love to serve you, and even the grown-ups can do that, if they will. As you call your mighty presence into action, people will love to serve, for that is where divinity enters into the activity of the earth. Think. Within the natural lifespan of these precious children here there will come such perfection into this world as you could scarcely conceive, even today. Remember, precious ones, the great cosmic law makes no mistakes. When this beloved messenger saw upon the great cosmic screen 70 years of the future of America, those great ascended masters make no mistakes. In this great call to the 198 Mighty I Am presence and the great host of ascended masters to take command of America and the world, do not be dismayed when human, discordant appearances continue to find expression for a time. Do not be dismayed, but go on and on and on, calling your mighty I Am presence into action to take command of America, its people and its activities, to produce perfection and hold its dominion forever. Thus, as we go forth in the mental and feeling world of mankind everywhere, soon thousands and thousands will take up that mighty decree and compel perfection to be the directing intelligence of our government, your government, and bless the earth with it. Please remember, when the mighty Arcturus said, "If it be necessary for the protection of mankind, that light as of 1,000 suns will descend into the earth, dissolve and consume all human discord and selfishness from the planet," he knew whereof he spoke. Mankind must be preserved until the power of the incoming golden age can find its full dominion, for the earth must become the light which the great cosmic law has decreed. It must expand the light and send it forth. It is no longer a matter of human requirements or activity, but the great cosmic light has said, the earth must blaze forth more light. And so it shall be. All those who will cooperate with that great law will find such expansion of their light that no longer will they be aware of any discordant thing. They will move in the world untouched by human discord. As they pour forth the great radiance of love from their mighty I Am presence, it becomes so powerful that nothing else can come in. They then move in the world untouched by discord, pouring forth their light and love everywhere, until all are free. See how great your privilege is, O precious ones, not only in having your own freedom, but in the blessing you can pour forth to the rest of mankind, who are struggling. Oh, precious ones, you know what your own struggles have been, also unnecessary, just because you had forgotten and did not understand any longer. Will you not enter with great and full joy into this freedom which is yours now, and be the perfection of your mighty I Am presence, constantly called forth into action by you? Now, beloved ones, remember, besides these two activities of calling your presence into action and the assistance of the great cosmic light around your mighty I Am presence, as shown by the circle of color on the chart, is your own accumulation of good, which the presence has drawn there and holds for you. It is your accumulation of good through the centuries. Once you have given 200% sufficient attention to your mighty I Am presence, then that good will be released into your outer use, for it is the threefold activity of the mighty and fed flame, the most powerful activity which can be given into the use of the children of earth. One day, possibly in 3 places in your America, will stand visible to all, that mighty and fed flame. Then you will not require human laws in your land to hold all in obedience, but because of the great light within themselves, all will give natural and willing obedience, as they did in the civilization in South America referred to as the buried cities of the Amazon. As they did in the 70,000-year civilization in which Saint Germain was the ruler. All of that great perfection will come again, on even a spiral higher in its great perfection. This time it is to be eternally sustained. So you of today are living in a period and have a privilege unparalleled on earth. Will you not keep yourselves reminded of this? For your precious children, will you not call their mighty I Am presence to take command of each mind and body, produce its perfection and hold its dominion there, filling their lives with the beauty and perfection which the presence holds for them? No matter what the provocation, hold your own feelings always harmonious. Then see how quickly your homes, your lives will be filled with the glory of your presence, which is divine love in action and pours out through all concerned into your world and all that touches it. My precious ones, may I just take a few moments longer to call your attention to an activity that we have seen manifest through the messengers. In various places they have been, such in harmony and confusion reigned, but just as quickly as they came, all that subsided and disappeared. You in Los Angeles at one time saw the activity of just such great chaos. You saw when they returned how quickly it dissolved and disappeared. It can be so in your individual life, just the same. The presence did it then, the presence will do it individually. When the blessed ones went to San Francisco, confusion was reigning there through unfortunate individuals who intruded themselves. Again, wonderful blessing and happiness reigns. So it is everywhere. Any place there is one or more who can stand firm and unyielding in the activity of their mighty I Am presence, its radiance goes forth without limit and performs its miracles of harmonious activity. This is what I want you to feel, if you will, that you too are a pillar of light moving in your world, whose radiance from the presence is so strong that no discord can exist in the world about you. As you determine, decree and feel this, so does it come about and cause it to be eternally sustained. It is a beautiful thing. It is within the reach of every precious one of you. 202. One time about 30 years ago, as you comprehend time, It was my privilege in India to come upon a condition where a little child had been badly injured. The spine and back had been broken, and one arm and one leg. That little child, a little boy, lay there in such agony, when from the higher octaves my attention was called to it. I afterwards found it was because of previous association. I went immediately and lowered the rate of vibration of my body. I became visible, just touched the brow of the little child, and immediately all was perfect. Such is the freedom which your life can give you. That is the power without limit which all can wield. As described in the Magic Presence, when Saint Germain touched the child that was so distorted, almost beyond recognition, immediately perfection took its place. So you, or your mighty I Am Presence, through you, could today perform a similar service, if you could but realize it and still your human activity and feeling enough. Just as through this body you see standing before you here was given such assistance as was recorded in the books, so could your mighty I Am Presence render a similar assistance through you. That is what he so earnestly tries to convey to you. Your presence is not limited in what it can do in, for, and through you, but it does require your continued harmony long enough to let its power gain dominion. Will you not feel that? Keep this before your outer consciousness so you may have the blessing, freedom, and glory of that light ever manifesting its perfection in and through you. You are no longer limited, precious ones. Do not let fear beset you any longer through your seeming lack of finances. Your mighty I Am Presence is your treasure house, and if you will call earnestly, it will open ways and means by which you are supplied continually. There is no limit to what it wishes you to have. It only asks you to be harmonious long enough so it can pour forth and release all you require. Precious ones, think. There are but three things in the world which really deprive mankind of a flood of every good thing, and they are criticism, condemnation, and judgment. That is the origin of almost all the distress of mankind. How easily it could all be stopped and dissolved. The marvel of it is that you may call on the law of forgiveness and set the law into action to dissolve all mistakes. Do you not see how the full scepter of power is in your hands for your freedom? Today we offer our gift of love to you and to these blessed ones. May your mighty I Am Presence fill you in your world with limitless happiness, joy, such release of all the money and of every good thing you require. May it give you limitless assistance in this service which you are. 204 Ascended. Rendering, and to all who are assisting. May the glory of its limitless supply be released to everyone. May a limitless supply of money be released to carry on this wonderful WORK, THE school of the I Am. If you will make the call earnestly and sincerely, then we will endeavor to help you bring the release of all the money required to carry on as the expansion is needed, to bring about beautiful and perfect places which will be a blessing and a credit to all. To bring limitless blessings for everyone who wishes to help and bless in this work. Remember, you cannot be limited in your service of the light, for money or anything else. As you make the call for it, so will the Presence open the way and fulfill it without limit. Try to feel this with wonderful, definite power, and then that answer will come to you. We rejoice greatly in the courage and strength many of you have had to step forward and start this. What a wonderful thing! Where there is a will, there is a way. Remember, your outer determination is the activity of the inner will of your mighty I Am Presence. We have referred to this quite often, but we must anchor it within your feelings. When you determine to do a constructive thing, it is the impelling power of your mighty I Am Presence, your inner self, not only urging you forward, but it will bring the supply of all that is required to keep it in harmonious action and accomplishment, if you can but realize it and feel it. So with all my heart I bless you, every one, who have been a part in starting this activity. Never fear, your presence will sustain and carry you forward into greater and greater expansion, until all the children throughout the earth may know the mighty I Am Presence. Let me add this, beloved ones, the first fundamental in all education in the world is the understanding of the mighty I Am Presence. Then all outer phases of education must become easy for the children. As you call the mighty I Am Presence into action to produce perfection in your educational world, so will the right activity of that education come forth also. All that is of real benefit will be brought forth through your call. The needs of the day will be fulfilled in perfect divine order. It is not the thing to do to put your education before your I am presence. Put your I am presence first. Then the remainder of the education of mankind will follow in perfect divine order. It must be so. You should know that is the fundamental. The right education does not mean some unusual manner of teaching. It means to know your mighty I am presence first, and it will bring about the perfect order of the educational system you want to use, as a natural sequence, and it will always be in divine order. Wherever inharmony or confusion starts, you will always know there is something in that activity. 206. Which does not belong in your education. So we want you to know you are entering into the great pathway of life, which is the balance between religion and education, your mighty I am presence. I thank you.